right, welcome in everybody, get comfy, and let's dive right in. Today we're going deep on, well, honestly, kind of everything. We've got this massive pile of facts and trivia, stuff you've probably seen floating around online, those quirky little things.
Exactly. We're going to unpack them, see what they actually tell us about, well, us, habits, weird stuff we do, maybe even how our brains work.
So first up, they're calling this today's impossible question. Ready for it. What's the most common thing people stain their carpets with?
Oh, I've seen this one.
And the answer is red wine. I gotta admit, makes me cringe a little bit, picturing that. But is it just clumsiness? Or is there something about, I don't know, having fancy red wine out that leads to spills?
Interesting question, actually. Maybe it's tied to, the context. If you're having red wine, maybe you're out with friends, feeling relaxed, or maybe even a little tipsy, and then whoops.
Yeah, maybe we're all trying to recreate that movie scene, where someone spills it all dramatically. But either way, it's a shared experience, right? Everyone's had that moment.
Totally. It's relatable, for sure.
Okay, next fact. Apparently, the number one thing people do before going on vacation is clean their house. Is it just me? Or is that kind of counterintuitive? Shouldn't you be, relaxing before you jet off?
Right. You'd think so, but I think it's about control. Vacations, they're all about letting go, right?
Okay.
New places, new experiences. So maybe cleaning is a way to establish some order, some control before stepping into all that unknown.
Oh, that makes sense. And you don't want to come home to a mess after a relaxing trip, right?
Exactly. It's about that transition back to reality, making it a little smoother.
I can definitely see that.
Okay.
This next one's a mood booster. The thing that makes most people happy instantly. Finding money in your pocket? Yeah, fair enough.
Absolutely. It's a little surprise gift from the universe, right? Plus, there's actually a dopamine rush that comes with unexpected reward.
Oh, so it's like science agrees with us.
Like your brain's own little party.
I like that, a brain party. All right, this one I was surprised by. Which age group has the most friends? Turns out it's senior citizens, I would have thought, like college kids or something.
Right, total stereotype buster. But there's actual research on this. A University of Chicago study found that social circles actually keep growing through adulthood, peaking in our late 80s.
Wow, so it's like the longer we live, the more friends we make.
It seems that way. It could be that they've had more time to build those deep connections, or maybe they just prioritize relationships differently.
Yeah, it makes you think about how friendships change as we get older. Okay, on to food. Did you know cabbage consumption goes up 70% on St. Patrick's Day?
Wow. Yeah, food's such a big part of tradition, right?
Yeah.
And while no one's 100% sure how it started, cabbage has been linked to St. Patrick's Day for centuries. Probably because it was easy to get during tough times in Ireland back in the day. Hearty and cheap,
Yeah, it's like a reminder of history right there on your plate. Okay, this one kind of flipped the script for me. GQ, the magazine, they found that men are actually more likely to admit to dieting than the women.
Interesting, right? We usually hear the opposite.
Totally. But I guess it kind of shows how things are changing. Maybe with all the, fitness stuff aimed at guys these days, they're thinking about their diet more.
Yeah, I'm maybe more open to talking about it too. It's not just a women's issue anymore.
Okay, next one's for the thrill seekers. Parachute manufacturers, they claim their products have a 99.9% success rate. Does that make you feel better or worse?
It's a great example of how we deal with risk, right?
Yeah.
You're jumping out of a plane, but those numbers, they make it seem almost safe.
Almost, yeah.
But it makes you think, even that tiny 0.1%, when the stakes are that high, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I guess statistics don't tell the whole story, huh? Okay, this one blew my mind. Being forgetful, it can actually be a sign of intelligence.
It's not about being spacey. It's more like your brain's being efficient. It's filtering information all the time. There's actually a study, it was in the journal Neuron, and they found that forgetting stuff, the unimportant stuff, it helps our working memory focus on the things that actually matter.
So it's like a mental declutter, I guess. Makes sense. Speaking of big things, scientists now think the water on Earth, like all of it, has been here since the planet formed. Billions of years ago.
Crazy, right? They figured this out by looking at meteorites, like the really old ones. They're basically time capsules from way back when the solar system was forming. And the water inside them, it's like a match to Earth's water.
So we've been a water world way longer than we thought. That's wild.
It makes you wonder what else is out there, right?
Okay, get ready for this one. Eating late at night, it can actually make you more likely to get sunburn. Who knew?
It's all about your body clock. They call it your circadian rhythm. There's a study in Cell Reports. They found that when you eat late, it throws off that rhythm. And that can mess with how your skin cells regenerate, so you're more sensitive to the sun.
Okay, so stick to regular meal times, folks. All right, bit of social commentary now. 1/3 of married women say they regret taking their husband's last name.
Yeah, you can see how times have changed, right? It used to be about showing you're a unit, but nowadays a lot of women, they see it differently. It's about keeping your own identity.
And on a lighter note, apparently 40% of men on Match.com, the dating site, they lie about having kids.
It's kind of funny, but also kind of sad. I guess online dating, everyone wants to put their best foot forward, right? But, starting a relationship with a lie.
Yeah, that's not a great foundation. Okay, on to something positive. Did you know the National Academy of Sciences has a science hotline for filmmakers? They call it the Science and Entertainment Exchange.
It's a cool resource. They've consulted on tons of movies, big blockbusters to documentaries, making sure the science is actually accurate, helping to tell those stories in a compelling way.
That's awesome because movies, they can really shape how we think about science, right? So, got to get it right. Okay, last fact, and it's a weird one. 2,300 Americans end up in the ER every year because of pizza-related incidents.
You gotta wonder, what are people doing with their pizza?
I know, right? Burns from hot cheese, maybe? Or trying to catch a falling slice and taking a tumble.
It just shows even the simplest things can go wrong sometimes.
Be careful with those pizza boxes, folks. And to wrap things up, one last little tidbit. Women make their beds more often than men, statistically speaking.
Who'd have thought? Maybe it's, I don't know, just a preference thing. Some people like things tidy, some don't. But it is interesting.
What does that say about us, right?
Yeah.
So there we have it. All these random facts, they're kind of like little clues to bigger things.
Totally. And it's a reminder to stay curious, right? Question everything. Look for those hidden stories in everyday life.
Don't just scroll past that next weird fact you see online. Take a second. Think about it. You never know what you might discover.
It's all about the deep dive.
Thanks for joining us, folks. Until next time, keep exploring.